Welcome to Practical Principles. This is Practical Prince. We're doing Talking Tarot today, so feel free to drop your questions in. Go ahead and update our caption. That was just the new schedule, which most people should know at this point. But yeah, and I'll just get our camera ready so that we can show cards. Doing well. How are you? Eh, it was okay. It was a series of interviews, so I met 4 different times. Um, The first one didn't go great, but I think the others went pretty well. Optimistic for now. I'll find out next week. They're That's what their plan is for getting back to me. Hey, Vichera. How's it going? Oh, no. Wrong button. Let me get our camera ready. I'm doing well. Okay, that should be good to go. Oh, nice. That'll be general reading. And then, Vijera, go ahead and drop your question too, if you have one. Um, which feels like we're going to be using prism. Let me get that one ready. Okay. We'll see. I know. Yeah, I'm just thinking of readings that have taken a long time. I want to say there was one stream, or it was basically just me and one person for an hour. Can't remember if that was you or someone else. But yeah. Okay. Yeah. Just going deep into the deck. Apparently. Oh, excellent. Glad we finally got a good balance there. Um, yeah, at first it was too soft, then it was, well, hearable but loud. So Okay. I think there's a bit more, but I think he's planning to do that more personally. So this is what I'm allowed to portray. We've got the Hermit, Solitude, Wisdom, and the Wheel of Fortune, a positive card. It does deal with change, though, and cycles. A hint of fate as well. So, yeah, I mean, these seem pretty, and both major. Let me go ahead and set this down. We'll go ahead and read from the books. But yeah, I mean, trust that things are changing for the better, because they are. And then, and you're already planning on this. Take your time to really connect. Um, so that'll be good. Um, the Hermit. Searching within, solitude, self exploration. Relationships with others are essential, but before we can communicate with others, we must be able to communicate with ourselves. When your thoughts are consistently muddled or diluted, take some time to uncloud your vision by gently removing yourself from society. Search within yourself for answers, and you may be surprised by what you find. Don't worry about the sudden silence. It is merely expectant, waiting for you to speak. And then, Wheel of Fortune. Chance, change, destiny. Constantly vying for power may seem like a futile pursuit, but it is in fact a simple, blessed characteristic of life that it is never at a standstill. The Wheel of Fortune shows the perpetual shifting in the balance of powers, manifested infinitely within every aspect of your life. At any given time, you will be the champion, be the contender, believe you are the champion, or have no reign at all, quickly hurtling yourself into the fray. This card suggests a change is coming. The old king is dead. Someone or something will rise up in its stead. So, yeah, I don't think they really added much there. But yeah, going inward, searching for a higher wisdom, and then positive change. Yeah. Um, Vichera. We've got love reading. Do you have a specific person in mind, or is this just like your love life into the future? No problem. switch over to our Destiny map. Hey, Rada. Doing well. How are you? It's been a little while, but not as long as your previous break. Right. Oh, excellent. Doesn't seem like Jared's going to clarify, so I guess we'll just focus on them and see what we get. Yeah, that's not too long. Hope you've been well. Right. Okay, love reading. Let's see. I don't know how specific I'll be able to get. I can try to ask. Let me go ahead and do Vajera, and I guess Rada, if she has a question. I assume would like a reading. Okay. Okay. Check that. Do we have it all? Hey, people. Um, yeah, Oliver, we can do that. And then Jessica, if you had a question, go ahead and drop that in. Just trying to see if there's another card involved here. Let's see. Yes. Yeah, doing readings. So if you'd like one, just let me know. Let's see. Okay. That's fine. This one is here. And that goes there. Okay. It is a progression. Feels pretty soon. Okay. Um, so Vijera for the love. Got some cards. And yeah, so there's a natural progression left to right. I get the feeling that this is sooner rather than later and pretty near future, to be honest. It feels like it's coming pretty soon. But anyways, let's go ahead and flip. And these are, again, tempered pairs. So the primary card is the main thing, but it's moderated by the second. So Four of Cups, restless boredom, tempered by Knight of Cups, artistic and new love. Interesting. Okay, we'll come back. Let me flip the other cards for that. Two of Pentacles, balance, decisions. Okay. Goddess Joya, Master Manifester. And then we got the Sun. So, success. Oh no. Yeah, that is the Sun. Success, security. And then, last but not least, Five of Pentacles. Hardship, isolation. Okay. Interesting that we'd be ending on that note. So, I mean, right now it seems like there's a restless energy with who to date, really. Finding that new love, that new relationship. So there's going to be a period of that. Then seems like you finally have one option, but it comes with another, apparently. Or is it? No, it feels like there's going to be a couple people. Maybe one's just a possibility and one's more concrete. That seems to be, yeah, not quite that. But you're going to have to choose who to chase. And then we've got Goddess Joy, so unique to this deck, but she's a master manifester. You'll be able to make it happen. You sure? I mean, because I can do it and put it on the video. It'll still be there for you if you want to come back for it. This is tempered by the sun, victory, success, security. So, yeah, that feels like fleshing out a relationship, making it something. Okay, we'll do it. Yeah, building a relationship that's rather good and rather positive. The interesting note, okay, is the Five of Pentacles that comes after all this. This is usually hitting a rock bottom. So, yeah, I just don't have a sense of what that rock bottom is. I don't know, like, if this relationship falls apart for some reason, or if, I mean, you guys stick together, but then it's financial rock bottom or something like that. I don't know. But tough times are ahead. Let me read up on the Five of Pentacles in case that's got any advice, but that's what's coming. So we'll set this aside. Pull up our guide. This one happens to have a digital, so we can share that. Five of Pentacle card guides you through conflict in the material realm. I mean, it's geared towards finances because it's a Pentacles, but you're obviously asking about love, which may manifest in the area of finances or well being. This card asks that you check your beliefs and values by shifting your lack of mentality to one of health and abundance. This card directs you towards spiritual empowerment to overcome any hardship, for instance, the loss of a job or a relationship. The positive aspect is that you will find support from others in a similar position. Sometimes this card comes up to show a certain fear where there is no reason to be fearful. This card also reflects certain feelings of sadness due to a loss of someone close. Have faith that you will discover a resource that will help you see a way forward. I mean, this is speaking more closely to losing the relationship, to losing the person in a sense. I'm just, it seems likely, but it's not a very definite feeling I'm getting. So, yeah, I don't know that I can be concrete on that. But that's what we got. So, if you can brace for it, I mean, it's at basically lean into your values, shore them up. If you've got faith or religion, you can reflect on that. Um, quick social media career read, please. Okay. And then after Rada, we've got Jessica J, and then Oliver. Or sorry, no, Lavina had a question. Yeah. So that would be after Rada, then Jessica, then Oliver. Okay. But first Rada at this point. Give those cards a good mix. Okay. Social media. Huh. I clarified. Yeah. Because I mean, the video is still available afterwards. This doesn't go just to Twitch. It goes to, well, you can see from their icon there on YouTube. So the video is still available for them afterwards. So unless somebody wants to be live and they want to be skipped because they're leaving, we'll usually end up doing the read for them anyways. Just because I mean, we've got 4 people here, but I really have no clue how long these reads will go. I mean, in recent days, most of them have been a moderate length, but sometimes you'll have huge reads, and I just don't know how to plan for that. So, oh, you're fine. I guess that's just my current policy on handling that. Yeah, so we're using the Lost Forest, which is not normal for this kind of question, but seems to be the one for today. Let's see, where are the cards? Looks like we'll have to come back for that one. Okay. The first one was nice and easy to find. They just stuck it on the top for me. And now we're digging through. Is that A? More of that. Okay. check that. Uh, If we had to go all the way through to the bottom. Okay, what's going on with... Okay. Okay. Can we see that now? Excellent. This is the main thing. This is an actionable item. I get the sense that this pair are just informative, like a heads up, but not necessarily something you can or should do something about at this time. So, and these are a pair, so they're speaking to the same thing. First thing, we've got 3 of fire, so that would normally be 3 of wands. And then for our pair, we got 7 of earth and 6 of fire. Okay. And then this guide is real brief, so let me go ahead and pull that up. So starting with fire, progress, expansion, foresight. So some planning for ahead, but yeah, otherwise putting some time into it, getting somewhere. And then the heads up, we'll start with the 6 of fire. Success, overcoming, being recognized, but then also paired with 7 of earth. Investment, long-term view. So, interesting. Recognition for your hard work, basically. Yeah. For keeping at it and going the distance. Yeah. Okay. Pretty positive as far as what's coming. So that's nice. Okay. And then Lavina had a question. And then Jessica and Oliver. Okay. What does the divine want me to do on my birthday for this? Seeking guide. It's on September 10th, so I can. I guess I need to give Twitch people a heads up because of the technology I use to stream to multiple platforms. I have to manually maintain my list, so I don't have nice fancy shortcuts for hopping in the line, sadly. So we've got Lavina, Facebook. Yeah, okay. we've got what deck for this? One of these two. Um, Sorry, I just don't understand what you're saying there, Lavina. Uh, can you rephrase that? I think we're leaning more into Prisma. Or sorry, Cosma. But Prisma would have been okay too. So let's switch mats. There we go. Oh, you're fine. So Cosma. We're going to see if we can get some sort of action. Okay. Yes. Yeah, I don't have any other way of knowing it unless you want to DM me or something like that, and then I can try to figure that out. Okay. Um, yeah, that's just Restream collecting comments, and then we're displaying it on the stream so that people can see cross-platform what's going on. So there's a tempered. Okay, but as far as the main question. Okay. And then this. And it is a tempered. Okay. I'm going to have to look into that because a couple people have mentioned pendulum now that I just don't even know what they're talking about. Okay, so a few different pieces, lightly tempered, so the main thing, with a touch of this moderating it. This seems to be the main thing you could do. This one is a more reactive or passive thing. Either the opportunity will present itself or, yeah, something to that effect. But not something you would actively search out doing. And then this is a side note, so not necessarily on the same topic. The fighter, lightly touched by 3 of lotuses. Over here, we've got 8 of trees. So that would normally be 8 of pentacles. And then over here, we've got the entertainer, tempered by 6 of embers. I'll go ahead and spread them for now. But, there we go. So let me go down. I'll skim through them. Fighter, I'm going to have to double check. I mean, that one's more action oriented. But you're asking about for your birthday. So let's see. And again, this one has the different names, but I can give you what they normally are. So normally, Knight of Swords, impulsive, vengeful, quick to act. Um, yeah, it was really just impulse. You'll kind of just feel it that day. So when you get that impression, when you get that impulse, do it. All good, Vajera. We already did the read, but it'll be on the video, so you can go back for that. 3 of lotuses. That's the tempering aspect. Did I pass? Yeah. Coexistence, synchronicity, alignment. Natural synchronicity. Yeah, I mean, basically do what comes natural to you on your birthday. Okay, bye, alien. 8 of trees. So this is the passive one. Skills, accomplishments, specialty. When the 8 of trees shows up, it is a symbol of great accomplishments. You have mastered your skill and become somewhat of a specialist. You now have something unique to offer, and it will be sought after by others. Don't shy away when people come to you for your advice or skills. Take it as a sign of your masterful growth. So yeah, People are going to ask for your expertise. Oh, you were speaking to Vigera. Okay. Um, so yeah, birthday. As far as when you get impulses um, that are natural and right, go ahead and act on them. Um, not something you can really plan around. Um, I don't know, but people will ask you. It might just be related to your experience, um, and otherwise it might be some skill. But yeah, I'm pretty sure you'll be able to recognize when somebody's asking for info or help. So, and like I said, that's more of a reactive passive one. So that's probably just going to happen naturally. Um, let's go on to the side note. This one I'm not sure what they're going to say. So, entertainer. Okay. Skillful, amusing, pleasing. A conundrum of a character. He has acquired an audience from his notable skills and success, but has grown too dependent on these tricks to imbue meaning into his life. He measures value based on what there is to gain, rather than the inherent beauty. In a reader, in a reading, the entertainer can be good when inquiring on fame and success, but in emotional and spiritual arenas, the entertainer is a fraud. When it comes to matters of the heart, they can freeze up. Okay. And this is tempered by 6 of embers. Let me get that part too. Victory, minor success, self-appreciation. 6 suns rising shows itself when we need to recognize a victory. You have reached a point in your process where you can finally see how far you've come. While your journey is not over yet, it is okay to let yourself be absorbed in this moment. Even your minor successes are a gift worth celebrating. When you start to appreciate yourself, you will find that you are capable of so much more. Interesting. So, I mean, it seems to be speaking more to the emotional or spiritual area where they would say, well, freeze up. Um, is that? Yeah. So, I mean, when you get your tarot stuff, oh, so entertainer. I mean, the notes were skillful, amusing, pleasing, but what's standing out is this line. In emotional or spiritual arenas, the entertainer is a fraud. When it comes to matters of the heart, they can freeze up. And then the 6 of embers, victory, minor success, self-appreciation. Oh. um, so when you get your tarot stuff, don't stop. um, go on with um, practicing with it, um, working with it, um, whatever aspect of spirituality you're wanting to work on, make sure you continue with it. Um, it's not necessarily a time to stop. Keep going at it. Um, that seems to be the fear that you'll hit that point and then it sort of just dies. So was that clear? Did we clean that up? Vijera, go ahead and ask your question. I mean, we'll just add it to the list, unless if it's just clarification on what we did earlier. So, Um, I mean, it's not necessarily fear. Um, the sense I got is when you get your deck, it's then what is the next step? It seems like you might pause there and freeze up. Um, so not necessarily fear, more so the freeze up part of that. Um, but yeah, okay, we'll do what we can, Vijera. Um, you're good. Okay. Um, and now we've got a bunch. Let's find Jessica. Basically, yeah. I would like to know what my gift is, or if I should learn more about reading tarot myself or healing. Hey, alien. Um, and then it's what way to go. Okay. So before I actually get into it, let me get a list together since we've got so many people. We're doing now. I want to say Oliver is next. Let me check that. Yeah, then we've got Oliver. We did Rada. Alien. And then who else do we have? Mary. Was that right? Yeah. And then Vajera had their follow up. Okay. So we're doing Jessica now. Then we've got Oliver, Alien, Mary, Vajera. And that's probably all we'll commit to for now, just because I don't know how long these will take. Let's get our camera back up. Okay. So, I mean, there's kind of a few things. Okay. Yeah, you're good. In Jessica's question, there's the what is my gift? Should I learn more about tarot, healing, whatever? Yeah, you guys are fine. I mean, I'll do it. It'll be on the video. I mean, it's convenient if you're alive for clarification on stuff, but yeah. Um, but then there was also there was another comment about potentially pursuing this in business. Let me just find that so I can. Trying to start a career, but don't know what way to go. And I guess the implication is that it would be in, well, focusing on whatever the gift is, taking advantage of that. So, Jessica, correct me if any of that's wrong. Um, Okay. Yeah, this is going to be personal. We need some insight here. We got them all? Yeah. Okay. I just don't know if I need to break this up into multiple questions. Because if we focus on the gift, we can probably also learn about whether you should be pursuing something. But then as far as career, yeah. I'll just focus and see if I can, what I'm getting. And then we might just need to do a follow-up read to get the remaining question. Yeah, it looks like we're just going to step through this. Okay, so we got one card, and the focus for this was what the spiritual gift is. So we'll see, Nikki. We've got a bit of a list now, and I've only got so much time, but go ahead and drop your question in. If I don't have time, I'll let you know at the end, but we can always catch it in another. 5 of Swords. These people are engaged in conflict. This one has set down his swords, and he's focusing on, well, I don't know if you can, oh, of course you can't see, that's so tiny. Doop-a-doom. So, don't know if you can see that clearly enough, but we've got our 2 in conflict. But then we've got the one who set down his weapons, and he's chasing after the butterfly. So let me read the guide. It'll phrase it better than just me going off of memory. But you're going to be resonating with that guy turning away and going after more important things. And 5 of Swords. Confrontation, disagreement, pacifying anger. Confrontation is inevitable and can even be an honorable and upfront way to achieve one's ends. The 2 locked in combat are practiced warriors of this art, and their baleful dance pays tribute to the intricacies of strife and competition. The 5 of Swords, however, encourages you to lay down your weapons. When you pacify your anger, you may be surprised to notice a different path, that of equanimity and transcendence. Let yourself be soothed. Follow the butterfly. I mean, yeah, how best to say this? Okay, good to know. But yeah, your gift is being able to focus on the spiritual. Yeah, that didn't necessarily give us a specific practice like tarot versus healing. So let's see if we can get that now. But it's not out of place for you. to be in this arena, so to speak. Okay. Well, yeah. Okay, so our next question. Is there a particular practice? Okay. That was it, right? Yeah. So a tempered pair, we've got the primary, and then it's moderated by this second card. We've got the Lovers, and then Knight of Chalices. So let me go ahead and read up. I mean, most people associate the Lovers with the romantic part, but a good portion of that is just connecting with people. So there's definitely a social aspect to that. Knight of Chalices, this deals with ups and downs and riding them. So yeah, let me go ahead and set this down. Let me skim through those. I don't know that there's going to be details to give me a specific practice, but let me check Lovers in particular, see if something stands out there. Break down barriers. Let people get to know you, the real you, and welcome their energy into your life. Okay. Yeah. And then Knight of Chalices. No, that was earlier. Unfettered emotion. Feelings, devotion. Cavalier devotion to matters of the heart can often lead to a swift dethroning, but at the apogee of your quixotic journey, have no fear of the imminent plunge. And write it to the end. Gosh, what's the technical term for that? Empath? Give me one sec. Google, tell me I know what I'm talking about. Yeah. So, I mean, you're an empath. Okay. I mean, that doesn't necessarily require tools, so to speak. You can connect with people. And if you wanted to practice, you would find people. So you don't necessarily need tools for that. And I mean, you're sort of just along for the ride given the Knight of Chalices, um, a support in a sense. For some people, it's a mirror to help them see clearly. But yeah, you would, I don't know that you would have tools. You would probably just be connecting with people in order to practice that gift. Um, and then the business aspect. Let me make sure. So, I mean, we're basically switching to this part of the question. There we go. And one more. I'm just trying to imagine. Um, okay. Okay. Where are you? Let me set these aside for a moment. Okay. We've got a lot right now, so I'm not sure we'll have time, Tina, but um, I guess we'll let you know when we're ending. Um, if you have a specific one, go ahead and drop the question in just in case we do get to it. Okay. Um, so we got two tempered pairs. So there's the primary card and its meaning moderated by the second one behind it. This is a series of aspects from the most important, most relevant to the least. Not saying it's not relevant, it just has much less weight, much less importance. So we'll just justice, tempered by tiny elephants. That's unique to this deck. Two of swords, tempered by temperance. And then for our series, we got Queen of Chalices, the Hanged Man, and I don't know if you can see that, Knight of Pentacles. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to have to read up on tiny elephants since that's unique. Justice is pretty karmic. You reap what you sow in a sense. Two of Swords, there's indecision. We're blinding ourselves. But it's tempered by temperance, which deals with moderation. So, I mean, the aspects I feel is pretty straightforward. Being able to use your energy, your emotions to help others, a sense of awakening, enlightenment, which is what the Hanged Man speaks to. The Knight of Pentacles is a concern about this becoming mundane, that your gift of this particular deck, Prisma Visions, and it's by James E. Reed, or sorry, James R. Eads, but it looks like James Reeds. With the Knight of Pentacles, the issue is doing this long term could sort of deaden your sense to it or appreciation for it. So, yeah, but that's lower on the concern list. Let me read up on tiny elephants, and I'm still trying to see if I can get Two of Swords. I might skim on that. Just to make sure I get that more clearly. So, not illumination. No. Did they stick it at the end of these? There it is. Tiny elephants, perspective, renewed wonder, inverted expectations. When you pull tiny elephants in a reading, it asks you to acknowledge the perspective of your situation. Pay attention to the things around you. If your perspective feels like it has grown tired, then get on the floor, stand on a chair. Find a new way of looking. You'll be surprised how fresh something old can feel when you look at it differently. There is wonder in small things, and there is beauty in understanding another's point of view. And this is moderating the karma. So yeah, you're going to get out what you put into it, but it seems like the route you should be taking should be unconventional. As far as what that means, that I'm a little blurry on. I mean, like, you could consider streaming tarot unconventional, but maybe you don't. I mean, this will depend a fair bit on you. So, yeah. Um, as far as business career, you were thinking in these lines. Maybe write down what you were thinking of, and then try to find alternatives. Because yeah, that seems to be the route. Let me glance at the Two of Swords. Avoiding truth, approaching blindly, surfacing fears. If you are blind to the situation at hand, you will miscalculate and blunder. Don't flinch from the truth. Do not let needless fears disturb you. Find balance. Um, Rubber needs to hit the road. Um, you need to take action. Um, you might be suffering from some analysis paralysis. So, um, okay. Well, and I didn't necessarily get tarot as the thing. It's more connecting with people. So I don't know if that's more along the lines of a life coach or um, a consultant, sort of. I mean, it's not exactly therapist, but something similar or adjacent to that, maybe. Um, you're good, alien. Um, yeah, but as far as the Two of Swords, um, you do need to try some things. You do need to take action and learn from that experience. Um, otherwise, like the person in the picture, you're just sitting there waving your swords around. You don't have to go overboard. Um, that's what the temperance is saying. So don't throw too much into it. Don't overextend yourself when you do that. Um, so I guess a good way to think about it is small experiments. Dip your toes in, and then with each step, you can take it a little further. Um, you just don't want to jump in and find you're jumping into concrete. So that would hurt. Okay. Um, I mean, that's just going to depend on how comfortable you are with that. So, with the Two of Swords and those small experiments, um, obviously you're making incremental progress there. So, if you need another job um, to help support yourself until you can get something up and running, then yeah, that would make sense. No problem. Thank you. Let me go back over our list. So we just did Jessica. We've got Oliver, Alien, Mary, Vigera. But we now have a bunch of people just hopped on, it seems like. Um, let's see. There was Lavina. So we had Nikki, potentially. I mean, you saw how long this one took, so I'm just not sure I'll have time to get to you. We had Tina. Um, we had Francisco. we did have, yeah, we had Vajera the second time. Okay. So yeah. So to reiterate the list, we just did Jessica. We're now on Oliver. Next we have Alien, then Mary, then Vajera. I'm not sure, Nikki, Tina, Francisco, if we'll have enough time to get to your questions. Yeah, that tends to be the case. But just real quick to answer this question, because it's just dealing with my practice. Um, in the strict sense, no. I think with medium, people are saying being able to commune with the dead. As far as my practice, I'm communing with a higher power. Now, if that higher power is willing to relay, basically, from people who've passed on, then yeah, in that sense, I could potentially act as a medium. But I mean, that's if they're willing to facilitate that. So let's go find Oliver's question, which he asked so long ago. Is there a likelihood for me to meet and be friends with Dana? Who knows? Yeah, this is probably a Destiny link. So let me switch over to that. Okay. And I mean, it might come out differently, but most likely this will come out in this yes/no spread. Go ahead and show that. So we'll flip 3 cards, and then the combination will give us an idea of yes, no, maybe. Sometimes I can get details from those cards, but you're really just asking about the possibility. Dang. Let me shuffle one more time. Okay. Meet and be friends. That was convenient. Um, we might be able to get some extra info. Okay. So we've got our 3 cards. Let's highlight that. 9 of Swords. That's probably a no. 5 of Cups. Probably no. I'll double check. Goddess Ella, that would be a yes. But the Nine of Swords, Five of Cups, those are no's. So, no. Yeah. You would be needing some divine intervention to make that happen. It's a no. So let me go ahead and set that aside. Sorry you waited so long, and that was a very fast read. But yeah, that's what we got there. And that was yeah. I had an emphasis on the Five of Cups. I don't know if that's their particular situation. The notes there are sorrow and loss. It's deals with grieving, so that might be in the way. But I mean, overall, no. So um, Alien, heads up. We're going to do your question. Dun, 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 bum, bum. No problem. Let's see if. Hey, Deepa. We've got a pretty long list right now, so I'm not sure that we'll be able to fit you in today. But I'll add you just in case. But we've only got a half hour right now, and I'm doing at least 3 people, and then there would be 3 more before you. So odds aren't great, but we'll see what we can do. And we're looking into your aunt, Alien. Okay. Not a destiny question, that's for sure. Yeah, Prisma. Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to give you that heads up. Trying to understand why. And since they asked, just letting Alien know, NXX Alien, we're doing your reading. So if you want to hop on, now would be the time. Hey, Vijay. Still coming to you. Okay. Sorry, I just gotta focus on finding the cards. Oh, as far as, I mean, the list is long. We're doing Alien now, then we have Marriott, and then we have you. So Um, I just don't know how long they'll be. That's that's the issue. Jessica's was fairly long. Oliver's was super quick. So um, yeah, I don't have a good rule of thumb for how long it'll be. But you are, well, there's this one, marry you. So third or second, depending on how you view the Q/line. Is it both? Okay, we can come back and clarify as needed. Is there more? Let's see. And then I was just realizing somehow we lost our, yeah, the background music died. So I don't know if you guys can hear it. Yeah, it's been missing for a while. Don't know what causes it to cut out. Are those? Okay. Okay, I think we might have our cards. Get back together. Tempered pairs, right? Okay. Um, um, I'll just have to say that. Okay. So, alien. We've got three aspects going on here. Hey, Phantom. Um, this has the most weight. I mean, they're fairly competitive. This one's more on the outside, relevant. It's not negligible, but it's small compared to this, bigger than this one. These are tempered pairs. So we've got the primary, and then the second one behind it moderates it in some way or clarifies it. Um, I'll add you, Phantom, but just so you know, we've got, well, no, at this point, I just don't have enough time to get to your read. Just looking at the time I have left, because I still have two people, and then if we were to do more, there would be four more. So, um, yeah, sorry for today, but there are other opportunities. So just try to catch those. But yeah, we'll start heavy. The Empress, Ace of Chalices. Oh, thanks. The Sun, tempered by Page of Pentacles. And then Page of Chalices. Interesting. So, I mean, the Empress is usually dealing with the feminine, and then Ace of Chalices with relationship blooming. I'm just having a hard time sensing if that's because I don't know if it's like your parents' relationship to you or your relationship to someone else. That's the cause of that. I mean, there's a strong female presence in it. Um, and maybe that would clear it up for you as to who that's speaking to. But yeah, I'm just not quite sure who that's speaking to. But there's some jealousy essentially there. There's the Sun and Page of Pentacles. I mean, you're happy. I might need to read on the pages you've received a gift. Yeah. It's a jealousy, an envy. I mean, the Sun is dealing with abundance, joy. Um, yeah, it's a pretty positive card. This painting, I don't know if it illustrates that, but that is the meaning. And then a Page of Pentacles is receiving a gift. So, um, yeah, I don't know why she's upset by that. Maybe because I don't know what her life experience is. Perhaps she had it a lot rougher for some reason, or seemed to have it rougher. Um, yeah. And then the Page of Chalices. Let me check on that one. But I want to say that's letting your emotions out. So it might be that this was bottled up for a bit. And it's only now surfacing, which could explain why it seems so strong. Chalices page. Open heart, emotional well-being. Don't hoard your emotions for fear of exhausting them. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I kind of get the sense that this was there previously. It's only now getting out. So, yeah, it might be that gush, that rush from finally being released that makes it seem so strong. But yeah, as far as pinpointing what particulars you would have to. Ah, I guess we can recap since you're here. Um, I don't think I'll have time spawn because we've only got 15 minutes and plenty of other people we need to read for. But if you want to plan on one of the other streams, um, we can get you then. It's just first come, first serve. Some sort of relationship. There's a strong female presence involved. I'm getting a strong sense of jealousy, envy across the board, and it's only now coming out. That's what we're getting from Page of Chalices. Um, I'm just having a hard time identifying who the female figure would be, whether that's some relationship you have with another person, or maybe it's your mother or something like that that she's jealous of. Um, but right. Um, but she seems to be jealous of another woman's relationship. Um, you being the context of this. So I don't know if that's your mother. Um, and frankly, I don't know what your. Okay. If you've connected that, then that's great. So um, she might just be, well, I mean, in that case, it would be jealousy of the relationship between you guys. I mean, it seems pretty positive, all this stuff describing you. So just strong jealousy, that of a particular person. But then the sun, joy, abundance, Page of Pentacles, being given a gift. So for whatever reason, she's jealous, envious, and it's coming out now. It'll probably dampen a bit now that she's, in a sense, opened the floodgates. Once that initial rush passes. But I mean, this is someone else we're talking about, so it's up to them to actually address it. Yep. So jealousy, you could also say envy. But yeah. Okay. I need to check who's next. We've got Mary, then Vijera, and then if we've got time, we'll do one or two more. Oh, hey, Julia. Doing well. And we spoke to Spawn. Okay. Let me go find. There was that. No, that would have been during. Where is it? No problem. Glad I could help. Ah, there it is. It's just back further than I thought. Is the man I love going to get in touch with me? What is happening here? Thank you. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Definite. Is it? Yeah. We'll pull the relationship or the Destiny deck over. understand him, what's going on. Okay. With respect to her, of course. Is this an influence? No, okay. There we go. Okay. Okay. No, not that one. Let me set these aside. Other way around. Okay. And then okay. Let's spread that so that's a little more clear. Okay. Um, is that everything? Okay. Okay, so for Mary, 4 cards, 3 places really. So this, oh, just lost our camera. That's unfortunate. I guess while that's restarting, because that can take a little bit, I'm not going to have enough time for the people who came late, just given where we're at right now. So Nikki, Tina, Francisco, Deepa, we had Julia, Spawn, Phantom as well. we're not going to have time to be able to read for you. Thanks for dropping in. Um, we're following a consistent schedule. So if you want, I'll pop that real quick. Um, Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, different times. Figure it out for your time zone. But it is first come, first serve. So try catching it at the start, and we should be able to fit you in. But thanks for dropping in. Let me go highlight Mary's question again. Okay. Let's fix this, get our camera back. There we go. Okay. And then make that big. So this is mildly tempered. So this is the main thing, but then there's a touch of this moderating it. And this speaks to his intentions towards you, him as a person, and an influence in his life. That's what we got up here. So we've got the star, hope, guidance, influence, being, contracts, information. So, I mean, there's a certain limiting factor going there, but that's not necessarily bad. Over here, we've got 3 of Cups, celebration, abundance. This is tempered by the Sun, success, security. So, yeah, I'm going to need to, let me go ahead and set this down so that I can also look at the cards. But yeah, getting the star for him, yeah, he's somewhat inspirational, and that's probably part of what drew you to him. I'm going to have to read on the Page of Swords to see what's standing out there. As far as the intentions, though, 3 of Cups, tempered by the Sun. Yeah, I'm going to have to check on that. Oh, this is the Destiny deck by Lisa Santine. So if you want to find it that way, she's doing another print of it in the near future. So, gosh, let me open up the guide. So I have mats that I've associated with my decks. So I'll usually switch so that they're matching. The only exception is the Lost Forest. That one doesn't have a particular mat with it. So that one will just depend. But otherwise, I like to do the corresponding mat with the corresponding deck. So yeah, I have been switching that. I'll find Page of Swords. And there it is. Because this is the influence in his life, represents a new mindset being created, a sort of awakening, where you're able to look at life with a curious and open mind. This openness allows you to be creative, innovative, open to new possibilities. It is an important time to start communicating more in your relationships. This is a time to observe carefully, pay attention to what others are saying, and take action when the right opportunity presents itself. Important news. Stay dedicated to your course, plan well, and strategize, because this card is reminding you to not lose sight of the big picture, which, I mean, would be advice for him, but yeah, sort of awakening, a new mindset being created. I mean, he's going through a shift in perspective, really. So I don't know if that's just causing him to focus on other things for the time being. Yeah, and then yeah, the relationship is just a lesser priority. Um, yeah, I can show them afterwards. Um, or I guess we have your question coming up next, so I can show it then. Let me read the Three of Cups. Seems curious that you're getting rather positive stuff. Um, but worried. Joyful celebration. This is a time for indulgence, parties, reunions. There's an outpouring of love and emotional growth, strengthening your connection with others. Reveals an emotional or physical healing. Make sure to spend time with people who raise your energy. Yeah. So I don't know, maybe with the shift in perspective, that new mindset being created, we're getting a touch of healing here in the Three of Cups. So they might just be needing a moment to heal from that shift, um, to firm it up in a sense. But otherwise, the emotions seem pretty positive towards you. Um, and this is tempered by the sun, which is a very positive card. So, I mean, let me skim through that real quick, but I don't think that's going to too much. Powerfully uplifting, happiness, joy, and optimism, right direction. Yeah, I mean, to speak to Mary, I don't know what has you concerned, but he might need just a little space for what's happening now. I mean, he'll be a slightly different person because of it, but overall, this is still very positive stuff. So you might be overreacting. Um, yeah, yeah. I just wouldn't panic yet by any means. This is, I don't know how else to say it. It's positive. So, uh, yeah. And then Vichera. Um, do, 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 do. I mean, we'll just go ahead and highlight this and then get to the real question. Um, let me set them up here. And then, yeah, that'll be good enough. Oh, don't fall yet. There we go. So these are my decks. This is the Destiny deck by Lisa Santine, Cosma Visions and Prisma Visions, both by James R. Eads. He's got another deck, but it's basically this in a black and white. It's more like a purple and white. Um, and then this is The Lost Forest, but the artist, I want to say her name is Chelsea Marie, maybe. I'd have to double check. This was a second printing, so I don't know if she's doing another. I know Lisa's planning another Destiny deck, and she's actually got a couple more that she's in the process of making right now. But then you notice that the mats were changing. So I have one for the Destiny and then a reversible for the Cosma and Prisma, since they're brothers in a sense, same maker. I just don't have one for the Lost Forest right now. I think about getting one every now and then, but oh, you want to do the Lost one? Okay. I'll go ahead and set this down. Hey, Zakin. Doing well. Just so you know, I mean, I don't have time any more time today. Vajera is my last one because I'm already over time. But feel free to drop in. We've got a regular schedule right now. Um, there's Monday, Wednesday, Friday, just first come, first serve. I am job hunting, so that may change in the near future. But yeah, for now, that's the schedule. So, okay. And then let's find Vajera's question. Be right back. There it is. Relationship ended. It got real dark after that. We want to know why. What do you mean by why and how? I mean, if you're asking how you can get back to a happy place, I mean, that would actually be an appropriate question for this deck. But if you're asking for, are you asking for their reasons or perhaps why that happened in your life, more on the cosmic scale of life? Well, I just threw out 3 possible interpretations, so you want to clarify which one? Okay. Next steps, or the whole path if we can get that match. But okay. Okay. Um, And then are they ordered? Yeah. I mean, I still am making sure I understand because for some reason I needed to reverse this one, which is unusual. I don't really do reverse that much. But now I'm checking if this is the next two steps or if these are things that you can do in parallel. And this is parallel. Okay. So for this one, we got justice reversed. And here we got the faceless. That's a card unique to this deck. It's not a traditional part of tarot. Both major arcana, technically. I don't know what people think of bonus cards, but yeah. This is perhaps my favorite deck because the art is pretty gorgeous. So, but let me go ahead and set this aside so that I can pull up our guide. So let's start with justice. Reversed unfairness and dishonesty. There's a bit more to that though. The faceless. More than meets the eye. Sudden opportunities. And these are parallel things. So as far as the reversed justice, there's usually, when justice is upright, there's a balancing. There's that equilibrium sort of thing. In this case, where it's reversed, we have to accept that it wasn't fair by any stretch of the imagination, that it was wrong. But we need to accept that. So it happened. And yeah, we start there. Yeah, radical acceptance would be the term there. For the faceless, sorry. I mean, I'm thinking of a similar thing from earlier, but the thing is sudden opportunities. That's what's standing out, and more so taking advantage of those. So when, I don't know how to phrase that, when something comes up, there's a possibility. Throw yourself into it is the advice I'm getting. If somebody asks for help, by all means, offer it. You might feel like you're overextending yourself or pushing yourself. But that's just because you've been withdrawn for so long. You're actually more capable than you give yourself credit for. It wasn't in the description, but part of the faceless, is the many masks. And in the positive, it's being able to put on the mask that you want or the mask that you need. So, where things are perhaps difficult and down, you can put on a happy face. Don't force it too much, of course, because we're not trying to mask it. We're not trying to conceal it. We're trying to literally become that. So, yeah. Okay. No problem, Vijera. And yeah, so that's it for today. I'll go ahead and pop the schedule so people have that for reference. But thanks for stopping in. It was fun reading for you guys, and we had more than I could really do. So I might need to figure out other ways to accommodate people. So If you have ideas, let me know. But otherwise, enjoy the weekend, have fun, and until